Hello everyone, welcome back to Drakenlords. In this video we're going to be playing against the first boss in the current event, the Legend of Kruhh. It's the Governor. Now the Governor tends to be quite easy, I think, as long, of course, as you build the deck specifically designed around his ability. His stats are not that good. He has 2 attack and 30 health, so you can whittle it down relatively quickly. But his ability can be problematic. For 1 mana, it can return a minion to its owner's hand. He doesn't generally use it himself, but he does use it on your minions, particularly if they are big minions. So the thing to avoid is spending a lot of mana. Say you spend 4 or 5 or even more mana on summoning a minion, and then just having him return it to your hand for 1 mana. That's the thing to avoid. As long as you can play around that, his deck generally runs out of steam quite quickly, so I'd say it's not too much of a problem. Let's kill this. So what can you do to avoid running into trouble with his ability? I'd say there are quite a few different ideas that come to mind. And by the way, the deck I'm using, I just put together quite quickly. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best deck against him. It's just something that plays against his strengths. So it uses generally small minions. Minions with haste work very well because he doesn't have a chance to send them back to your hand. Minions with, say, good stats, and for example, Blood Hound I think is really good because if he sends it back, well, you've only spent 2 mana summoning it, and its drawback is only if it dies, so yeah, you can just use it quite freely. The minions with rally abilities are quite good. You can see there's a couple here because you can take the advantage of the ability before the minion is sent back to your hand. What else? Minions with covert tend to be good. So you can see I put here the rock dragons I have as well into the deck. Minions with stealth. I think the silent assassin is quite handy. It only damages the enemy minions, but it can be a good way to avoid being run over by his minions. Ensnare, I don't think I have any root in this deck, but that's also a good option. This is not going to last for too long, so let's just do this, and then summon this with haste, and let's attack it. I've chosen the ability, by the way, of giving him -1 attack during my turn because that's quite handy when you have like small minions with more than 1 health, obviously. Like for example, this one, Blood Hound. It's helpful, but I'd say the abilities don't matter too much as long as you just put in small minions with the stealth or covert, or if they draw cards, that's also helpful. The Goblin Scout, which draws a card, or things like the Song of the Rain, where you can relatively cheaply summon 3 minions, and then obviously he cannot send them all back to your hand. There's a number of things you can. This work very well, I think, because it has covert, so it cannot use the ability on you. What shall we summon? Let's summon this one. Let's attack. The -1 attack ability for the enemy hero is handy because that way you can freely attack with your hero every turn, and you're winning the damage race by doing 2 damage and you only take 1. I think this Governor shouldn't be a challenge for any of the basic heroes. So you could play with the Vampire or you could play with the Orc, and they also have very viable cards to win. With the Orc, you could build a deck around just getting like additional damage for your hero. So the +1 attack for your character is very helpful. And I think we've won. Okay, there we go, easy. So I'll put the deck in the comments. Let me know if you have ideas on better decks, alternatives, or if you have any question on how to beat the Governor. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.